Whether you're new to pool and practicing the basics, or a more experienced player performing drills to improve your shot making and positional play, the Drill Partner is perfect for you.
PremierBilliards.com. Exceptional cues, cases, and accessories from top-tier brands. Want it? Need it? Find it. PremierBilliards.com.
Welcome back to another episode of Dogging It. I'm Molina Mike, and I'm manning the ship here by myself, so just bear with me as I get my wheels greased a little bit. It's been a little while. We got a lot of shows in store in the next couple of weeks before we head out to Vegas again. As if Derby wasn't enough, we're going to be back on the road all over again. Lord help me. So just some guests that I've been working on, hoping to have on. Some like Derby characters, Russian Kenny, Hennessy. I'm trying to think of who else. Reached out to Justin Hall, see if he'll come on. Need to follow up with CJ Wiley, along with our good friend Joe Long, the meanest attorney in Baton Rouge. So we got a lot of guests that I'm working on. I just got to coordinate everyone. Plus that tournament director out of Alabama. Forgot that guy's name. But we're going to get him on as well, the one who runs that massive split bracket event. But got a fun show in store. These are really good friends of the show. They're actually sponsors. You can see them up top over there. Some of the logos bouncing around. Our boys from Salotto, they got a ton of projects in store. And I can tell you guys, from the moment I met them years ago, their energy was just right on point from where I wanted to be. We became really good friends, hanging out late night at the Rio, banging them around. And don't let their demeanor fool you, because they can run some balls. And I don't know what their Fargo is currently, but let's bring them on in. Out of where are you guys at in Wyoming? Somewhere, Casper, is that right?
Yeah, right in the central part of the state.
Well, everyone should know Reed and Colby at this point. And let's bring in your business part. Let's introduce him, boys, so we can get real familiar.
This is Randy Moser.
Randy, pleasure. How are you guys doing, man? How's the weather up there, more importantly?
It's been really nice. It's like 50 degrees right now.
See, that's not nice for Texas, man. In Texas, that's cold. In South Texas, that's cold. I'll get these text messages throughout the year that'll show like 8 feet of snow and just the head popping out, and that's how I know my boys from Salotto are doing all right. So it's good to see that it's above freezing.
Here, man, it's been we had a 3 or 4 days where it was -30 Fahrenheit. It froze about everything, but after that, we've actually been on a pretty good course of like decent weather.
That's pretty epic, man. I love that. And I've been meaning to go up there to go visit. I hear you guys got some big news on the horizon. We're not going to be talking about it today, but we will be soon. And hopefully I'm going to go up there pretty soon. That's on the agenda for 2024. But outside of Salotto, let's talk about Mint Billiards. Introduce me to that, boys, and all the projects you guys got going on up there.
Yeah. Randy will take some of this philosophical Mint Billiards info, and we'll just kind of let him talk about what that vision is, and then we'll expand on it.
Jump on in the water, Randy. Come on.
Wow. Yeah. Out to the wolves.
So I guess, basically these guys got me into it here a couple of years ago and just kind of went off the deep end. But after I started figuring out what Salotto was about and became an investor in their company, we saw the need for a higher class pool room in town instead of just having a bunch of tables and bars. So we started working on the project, and we're about to open here mid 2024. We're about to open a 10,000 square foot pool room that's centrally located in Wyoming, and going to make a run at doing the best job we can to build that competitive spirit and get the youth involved and really give homage to the game the best we can.
Yeah. Randy, Mike, has been a big picture in our relationship. When we created Mint Billiards LLC, which is Well, the three of us here, plus we've got an additional partner who's going to run the restaurant in Mint Billiards. But when Randy kind of came to our group, he was able to just see such a big vision for what's coming together now. So, I mean, we owe a lot to that large vision. But, this 10,200 square foot building is going to have 26 pool tables in it, and it's going to be one of the first
26 pool tables in it.
Yeah.
Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
The goal is, so the three of us and you alike, we all believe that pool is on the uptick and it's growing, and being passionate and convicted with that is important to all three of us, much like it is for you. And Mint is a sort of manifestation of that vision to start out, and we all believe that pool is deserving of more, and we're going to give it that, starting with Mint.
Well, it's a responsibility we all have.
It is a responsibility, which kind of leads us into that press release bit. To clear the water quickly, we did not buy Fargo Rate.
It seemed like it's funny how people just like pick and choose highlight words, and they just like focus on them.
It's funny. I get it, but we got to clear that air. They're a thriving and growing company, and the Mint Billiards Group invests in companies they believe in that have a similar vision. And Fargo Rate is growing, and they help amateurs measure up, and it's the right relationship. You know what I mean?
Randy, what was it about these two boys that made you want to invest in their vision and what they wanted to deliver?
Well, first of all, I've known them since I was in high school.
I got to hear some of these stories. I'm sure there's plenty.
I don't know if we have time for all those. But, well, they came to me initially with some funding requests, and I was just on board right away. They're two of the smartest guys I know. I saw their passion for the game, and really, they taught me what jumping off the deep end is. As far as the game is concerned, I was a pretty casual player before I met these guys, and it just kind of caught on. But it's the game's a great teacher, and these guys are amazing at what they do, and they built a really, really good business. And so I continue to invest in them. I just like what they do and how they do it, and their heart's in the right place. So that's kind of how I got in with these guys.
I know exactly what you mean, Randy, because that was my first, and I've said this before, I brought y'all in, but that was my first time meeting them, was just their energy, man. And you can smell BS a mile away, I feel like, or at least I can, at least I try to anyway. And sometimes some will filter through, you know what I mean? But these guys are as sincere as you can be, and before they ever came on board as a sponsor of the show, I supported them and everything they got going on, and always believed in them. And I know it's not easy, man. Pool world is rough. You got to cut your teeth the hard way, and there's a ton of skeptics, and it seems like the negative will be a lot louder than the positive. But it's great to see that, throughout all this, you guys are not only doing well, but thriving, and going to open up a 26 table room in Wyoming. How excited are the people out there? What's the feedback been like, and what's the pool community like in general out there?
Randy slicks his hair back like that on purpose because the splash that it's making in the state is doing the same for everybody else.
Yeah.
And so we're aware that the state is happy and pleased with Mint Billiards, but I think more regionally speaking, it will be a reverberating effect for the pool community.
Are we looking at bar tables, boys? Because I know it's the Midwest. Or are we looking at big tables? Can you spill any beans?
Yeah, those big tables are a must. So Right now we have between 6 and 9-foot tables that will be in this room. The rest will be 7-foot tables. Central Wyoming has not seen a proper pool room for about 15 years. There was a 9-table room that had no accommodations that ended up closing. So we're kind of picking up the torch and lifting everything up. But we will have a mix of table sizes.
And when we started planning this, we looked a little bit further than just Casper, Wyoming, or Wyoming itself. We were trying to build the best pool room we could for the entire Rocky Mountain region.
So what's the scene like out there? Or is it just like nothing but bar rooms, or what's like, is it just bar tables as far as the eye can see, or is there like normal pool rooms out in that area? Because I've never been before.
Yeah, there isn't a public 9-foot table in our entire county.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
Is that a fact?
that is a fact.
Yeah, there are private tables, but
Yeah.
there's not a table anybody can go, play on in a commercial environment.
That's pretty epic, man.
Yeah, and like Colby
Oh,
said,
wait,
like
the Pepper Mill in Cheyenne, that's not our county.
that's
though.
not our county. I know, that's what I said in the brief.
Stands true.
There's one in Cheyenne, anyway. But yeah, I mean, like Colby said, our goal is to make the best room in the United States, or at least in the western part of the United States. Seeing deeper than our local market provides, and connecting with others.
Take hard times, and you look at the success that he's had, because much like the four of us, he's passionate. Oscar's a solid dude. He does good business. He hosts good events, and his equipment is nice. And that's not present around here. So we're going to make that a factor so that we can have a connection. It's a bit of a middle ground for the country as far as the pool hub is concerned.
So how is this new business venture going to affect y'all's energy and more importantly time into Salotto and that growing app that you guys have been doing so well on?
Yeah, that's a solid question, and the answer is it's a natural fit. We say often that a rising tide floats all boats. So the more we have our heads in different facets of the pool industry, the better we understand all of those facets, and the better we can provide an environment like Mint Billiards to our customers, and we can learn how to better tailor Salotto for those same customers too. So these are truly a succinct match.
Yeah, I mean the crosstalk, the business to business, like Salotto to Mint, or Salotto to Fargo Rate, or Mint to Fargo Rate. Some of the acquisitions in these other companies we're hoping on all fronts to maintain and build that momentum even more.
That's pretty awesome, man. So I'm assuming we're gonna have a lot of Salotto brawls out there at Mint Billiards coming up.
Oh yeah, man. We'll have a 9-foot streaming table. It's going to be, a pretty good battleground there. We intend to put some high profile matches on that table.
What about tournaments, boys? Because you guys are in a really good spot, centrally located in the U.S.
Yes.
Is that something that you guys are going to be looking to dip your toes in with this new room you're opening up?
Absolutely. Yeah. High-end events, quality players, of all skill levels, we'll try to accommodate for sure.
Yep.
Nice, man. So it's February. Vegas is on the horizon along with Mint Billiards. What are you guys doing in preparation for the long event that's going to be at the Rio coming up here pretty soon?
We've been on the treadmill, that's for sure.
Yeah, a lot of steps being put in, no doubt.
Yeah. No, we've got, there's another piece of information that will come out at Vegas that will be really exciting, that we're excited to announce with you again. But I think in just general preparation, Salotto's got a fresh backdrop. We got some new display items. Randy's going to be in tow, seeing the whole big picture. And it's just going to be throttle down as far as we can push it.
Randy, have you been out there before to the Rio during BCA Expo?
I haven't. I'm real new, so but they keep telling me about it for the last 2 years. Man, you got to go see Vegas. You got to go see Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, that's an event that will just change your perspective in the pool world. With 10,000 amateur competitors and hundreds of pros, it's really an interesting environment where the amateurs can play a league match on one table, and 30 feet away, Fedor Gorst is playing Jason Shaw or whatever that match might look like.
That's pretty. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be. It's not just pro matches; it's amateur matches, which is right in y'all's wheelhouse. It's the bread and butter of the industry. It's long days. It's networking. It's pool tables as far as the eye can see. It's like it take Mint Billiards and then cut it up into a fraction, and that's what you're gonna have out there in the Rio. Because it's gonna be super epic, but it's big, man. It's fun. And it's a must for all of you guys if you've never been out there. I know I've gone the last few years, and it's always something that it's tough some days, but it's super rewarding in the bigger picture for sure.
Yeah, it's worth the time and effort, we feel.
Yeah.
much
So
like any of this stuff is.
what are y'all's plans out there in Vegas this year, boys?
Oh man, well, we're certainly gonna have a match, Mike.
Oh, a rematch, I should say, not just a match,
Yeah,
a
right.
rematch. Yeah.
there's no doubt about that, man. I'll never forget the first time we met and you rolled over and pulled your cue out and said, "Rack 'em, let's go." So I think that
Oh,
kicked off our relationship the right way.
when in Rome, boys, right? When in Rome, you do as the Roman. Wait, I want to know how does Randy play? Can you
He
clock
plays
his speed
good.
for me?
All right, I'm getting up to about a 350 speed or so. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe that or not.
at the end of the year.
You've not met a more hungry player yet.
Yeah, he is putting in the work.
I'm just hungry.
Yeah, he's ready to learn.
Well, speaking of hungry, I want to plug with Mint Billiards. We also have a pizza restaurant, which will be in the atrium of the business. So we'll walk in. The atrium of Mint Billiards is large, 25-foot ceilings in the main entryway. But we'll have a reception area, and then behind that, we'll have a bar, a 30-seat bar. It's a big bar. But behind the, and it's still a restaurant, but behind the bar is a pass-through kitchen where Scratch Pizza will live. So we're working with a partner. His name is Gabe, and we've been doing some test pizzas in the test kitchen, and it's been absolutely incredible. So he came up with the name Scratch Pizza. It's kind of an entendre, obviously, but that's going to be also another component of Mint that'll be really fun.
That's epic, man. That's epic.
Yeah.
And so I know you guys mentioned earlier on that there was going to be some juniors as well. So is that something you guys are focusing on out in that area? And how many kids you got out there playing pool currently, and how are they able to at this point?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll
totally.
be Mint Billiards will be all ages, and we have a temporary space right now that has 10 tables in it, and we have gotten interest from the high schools. We have about 90 kids a day coming through
Nice.
the pool room, and they're there with a teacher as a lifetime sports class. They get some basic instruction from us, and then they just go gangbusters, and they are psyched, man. We're seeing them really take root to it and get excited about it.
Well, I love it. I love what you guys are doing, and it is a responsibility, to make sure that, you give back on all facets, whether it's amateurs, juniors. You guys put your hands in so many areas to make sure that everyone kind of goes up level with you as you guys
Mhm.
level up. And so that's awesome to see what you guys are doing now. So when can people expect for this room to be open realistically? Because I know it's always you set one date and then it's tough, and then things happen and construction woes and so on and so on. So what
Yeah.
can people expect, guys?
It'll be mid 2024. The phrase we're using is mid 2024, but it'll be open when it's right. We like to we don't half-ass things. We get things right, and there's no sense in rushing it because you want to have something done right.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's fair to look in that mid to late summer realm for a grand opening.
Well, I know we're going to have some news out there that's going to be debuting out at the Rio with you guys. So make sure and stay
Yeah.
tuned for that. Is there a Facebook page where people can go and follow and kind of track the progress to see and all that fun stuff? Or is it right now just news coming from Salotto?
Yeah, man, we've got social set up for Mint Billiards, so it's at Mint Billiards, all one word, mintbilliards.com. The website right now is, not really populated too well, but it has some general information. As we move forward and start posting events and things, the content will fill in. But totally, we're doing construction updates, photos, videos on Facebook and Instagram. So absolutely, give us a follow, comment. Tell us what you want to see. If there's something you love about a pool hall, let us know.
Yeah, well, you need to make sure and keep everybody in the loop, and there's a few different avenues to do that. We can reach a lot of people all over the place. So, listen, I'm super happy for you guys. You guys know you guys are like family. I'm happy to see that you guys are expanding and growing. And let's talk about Salotto for a minute. How's the app doing? How many people you got playing? All that fun stuff.
Good. Yeah, it's going great. We got about 25,000 downloads right now, about 2,500, 3,000 monthly active users, give or take. It's growing quick. We've got new coders on board recently, and that's going to be a really nice kick in the pants for us, to accelerate development and growth. It's taking the kind of route that you would hope, and it's garnering the respect and the awareness from players and communities alike that it's an integrity-based platform and we're an honorable service and it's a privilege to use it. And, the people who are using it are loving it.
And that's something you guys take pretty serious.
Very seriously.
Extremely seriously, yeah.
Yeah.
And also some big news this month, we will cross the 500,000 rack threshold through Salotto. So that's
I love that.
500,000 racks of pool that would not have been played previously without Salotto.
Thanks.
So,
Yeah, it's pretty exciting, really. You think
That's
about
very exciting, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, we've got calluses on our foreheads from getting kicked in the face like you wouldn't believe. But
Yeah.
for a while, you people sort of realize that it's here and it's here to stay, and it's a good service, and it's a viable product, and they like it, and it offers the chance for a lot of players who couldn't normally play to play.
I love that, man. It's crazy because that's what you guys have created, and it came with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and unknown, and adversity, and facing skepticism and snarky comments and social media, and here you are.
And it's no different than you getting in the grease with what you're doing. When you say you're going to start a pool podcast, people look at you like, what? And now you got 50,000 followers, and you're the go-to for anything pool. Like that's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. And if I had $1 for every time a player looked the other way when they saw me coming up on my phone, I wouldn't have to do a podcast. But it's great because like you guys, we're relentless,
Yep.
and we're not going to be denied. And there's a need for it, just like us in the industry and you guys in the industry. And then it helps even better that once we establish something, that we're getting more support, whether it's from friends or people within the industry that give you more respect than maybe they gave you the first time they looked at you. And it's never given up, and
Yep.
so before I get you guys out of here, whose car is that behind you? Because that thing's pretty sexy back there, man.
Randy's.
Yeah,
sexy, man.
It's 55 Bel Air. So
man. I tell you what. Listen, when I go up, and it's when I go up, I'm gonna need to get a ride. I'm gonna need to get a ride in that thing and cruise the boulevard with you.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. No. Anything else before we get you guys out of here? Any other news or updates you guys can provide to us while we got you on?
I think that's pretty much it. There's some stuff brewing, but we hate to be the guys. We're not like Henry Ford. We're not building a reputation on what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep that under our hats for now, and we'll let it out in Vegas. And you better be ready to eat some El Taco Gordo there.
I'm already fasting already, getting ready for it. I was telling my buddy this story just the other day. I said, man, we go into this Mexican restaurant. Number one, I didn't want to eat Mexican food in Vegas because it's Vegas, and I live in South Texas. And I said, man, it was the most epic Mexican food ever. And then I got these 3 white guys with me, and they're all looking at me because I'm the Mexican in the group, looking to order, and I'm about as clueless as they are, man. I didn't know what to do neither. So it made for a good story, and now it's become a Vegas tradition. So, boys, I appreciate y'all for making time for us. I cannot wait to see you guys in a few weeks. It's going to be a lot of fun. Keep your notifications on. We're going to have a lot of fun and exciting stuff and break some more news out there at the Rio. So we'll see you guys at CSI. It was a pleasure meeting you, and we're gonna make sure and bang them around whenever I see you, buddy.
absolutely.
Cheers.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for all you do, Mike. We really appreciate it. We love the show. Thank you.
Listen, it's my pleasure. We can't do it without you guys in more ways than you know. So the pleasure is all mine, and I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. So you guys keep your notifications on. We got a lot of fun shows in store. I think Pinozo and I are going to go live tomorrow morning. We got the Mar Boys on Friday morning as well. So lots of stuff on the horizon. We will be live soon. And thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you.